Hello, gamers. This is Michael. Do you like being evil? Do you like being bad? Well, you can be bad all you want in this game. Back in the day, in the DOS days, there was a developer called Bullfrog, and they made a series that a lot of people liked, called Dungeon Keeper. They made two games, Dungeon Keeper and Dungeon Keeper 2, and they were both extremely popular during their time. Electronic Arts acquired the company, and they had not made another Dungeon Keeper game since then. Then EA killed Bullfrog, and then they released a mobile game which we will not discuss because I don't want to get pissed off. Let's just say it's bad, avoid it. EA did to it what they typically do to most games. They completely ruin it. But Subterranean Games, now known as Bright Rock Games, did a successful Kickstarter, and for this game, War for the Overworld, and this game successfully captures the look and feel of Dungeon Keeper. They even brought back the original narrator. Let's take a listen.
I've been looking for someone to spearhead my campaign. But before we get stuck in, let's refresh that old mind of yours.
Now let me show you what this game's all about. Loading. Loading.
Welcome back, Underlord. It's been a long time since you were banished to the ether. You've returned as a husk of your former self.
Yep.
But I've taught far denser Underlords than you.
This game's got a good tutorial.
This is your dungeon core. The tether that allows you to manifest your malignant will. If destroyed, your consciousness will once again be scattered to the void. Your workers are an extension of your dark will. They have many jobs, but their main focus is in carving out the halls of your dungeon. Put them to work by clicking and dragging your cursor upon the flashing tiles to tag them for excavation. Your workers will now rush forth to dig out and claim the tagged area. Once they have laid down the stones, marking the ground as your own, you will be able to build rooms upon the finished tiles. While your lackeys get to work, look to the east of your dungeon core.
And this is just like Dungeon Keeper. You have your minions dig out rooms, and then you attract monsters to your lair, and you build up an army, and you fight the good guys. This is exactly like the classic Dungeon Keeper, so let's dig out this room. See, my minions have gotten to work. If they're not working fast enough, just give them a good old slap.
To attract minions to your dungeon. Order your workers to dig a path to it now.
And unlike the original game, this is a lot more animated. A lot more detail here. Alright, let's get that portal so I can start summoning monsters to my aid to fight for me.
Now that you have a gateway, minions can enter into your service. But first, you'll need to build the rooms necessary to entice them in. Start by building a barracks. This room will allow your minions to hone their combat skills without the risk of permanent death or disfigurement. Select it and build it by clicking and dragging your hand across the claimed tile.
Just like Dungeon Keeper.
Most rooms must be built at least 3 by 3 in order to function properly, though the lair and vault are effective at any size. A Gnarling has entered your dungeon.
My first
A Gnarling
monster.
has entered your dungeon. Attracted by the barracks, these green-skinned scrappers aren't quite right in the head, and they'll happily hack at your foes until someone is dead. Outside of combat, Gnarlings will train themselves within your barracks. You can pick them up with a click if you find them slouching off, then deposit them anywhere within your dungeon with a right click. For further entertainment, you can always put yourself directly into their head by casting possession upon them. You can increase the efficiency of props within your rooms by fortifying the walls closest to the props. Workers will fortify walls automatically when they've completed all their other tasks. Now that you have some minions,
That's this.
you will need to cater for their basic needs.
Right.
First, build a lair, so the pitiful little meat sacks can get some rest.
Dig that out. And you see what they're doing here is, now that they've dug that out, they're going to claim the tiles on the floor. And there I can build the lair.
Well done.
And they're going to
But
fortify
see
the
how your
walls.
gold reserves have been depleted. Command your workers to mine some of the nearby gold by tagging the gleaming tiles. They collect and return gold to your dungeon coffers, allowing you to spend it on whatever your dark heart desires. Your core can store up to 16,000 gold pieces. But if that number sounds pitifully small, or if wealth inspires the evil in you, simply build a vault to store more. Now that you've got a bit of coin in your pocket, you can build a slaughter pan. This room produces scores of micro-piglets, a delicacy that will sustain the weak flesh of your minions by filling their bellies with succulent pig flesh.
Now, the original, in the original game, these were little chickens. You would have little tiny little yellow chickens walking around here instead of these little piggies.
Your dungeon has been breached. Cast Rally upon these specters, and your minions will immediately sally forth to wreak bloody havoc. Well done. Now finish off the rest of these manifestations with a second rally flag. Your Gnarlings made short work of those specters, but see how they still circle the flag. You can dismiss rally flags by slapping them with a right click. This should allow your minions to return to their jobs and tend to their needs in a timely fashion. You can cast Recall upon a minion to immediately return them to your dungeon, though if they are attacked as it channels, then the spell will fizzle into nothing.
And this is exactly like Dungeon
You're
Keeper.
on a roll, Underlord, and I've been waiting far too long to begin my war for the Overworld. Let us enter the realm of Kairos and continue your retraining against a more fitting enemy. Well done, Underlord. I see it all coming back quite quickly. I expected nothing less, but there's much still to learn. Why don't we work in a bit of murder while we're at it. It's time for you to enter the realm of Kairos.
A bit of murder. You get the gist of it. It's a real-time strategy game. You build up your dungeons, you build up your forces, and then you basically curb stomp the good guys. You conquer the world. And that was a refreshing idea back in the day, and I am so glad this game is around. I seriously missed classic Dungeon Keeper, and this game captures the look and feel of it in so many ways. There are some major differences in other areas, some major improvements. Definitely the visuals, because Dungeon Keeper was a little dated. The original game was sort of almost Doomish graphics, and Dungeon Keeper 2 was a little better, but still somewhat primitive compared to today. This much better. I believe this is built on the Unity engine, if I recall properly, and now you're going to be seeing a little more of this game in the future, because I'm definitely wanting to play some more of this. This is a game I've been waiting for a while. It is on Steam. It was part of a successful Kickstarter campaign to bring the game back, and after what EA did with the mobile version, yeah, we needed this. It's yet another, example of an indie studio doing something better than a AAA studio. I mean, look at what EA and Maxis did to SimCity. And then you look at City Skylines, an indie title, which surpassed it in almost every way. And this surpasses that piece of crap mobile game that EA released of Dungeon Keeper. And the one where you have to, with the number of moves I was doing, where I was having my minions dig out the tunnels and rooms, you had to pay for more of those. You only had so many you could do, so many commands you could issue. And then you had to pay for more with real world money. Screw that. That's what I've been talking about in the Chloe and the Professor episodes I do on my the main channel, Zort Central. That's what I've been talking about. Videos that I post to Gamers Bay. Well, there will be more videos of this in the future, along with Fractured Space and more Toxic. So, if you like this content, consider subscribing. Click the like button. Also, I encourage you to visit the Gamers Bay community on Google+. We are a friendly gaming community. There's no trolls, and we have moderators who are fair. I'm a senior moderator there. We work by the rules. We don't just make stuff up arbitrarily. There are rules that we work by. We won't just remove your post just because. The one thing we absolutely frown upon is a moderator removing a post because they don't agree with it. If it's in the rules and just because they don't agree with it, they're not allowed to remove it. If it's something that they don't personally agree with. Let's say a violent video game, they don't like violent video games. Well, they'll remove that from other communities. But in our community in Gamers Bay, we respect that you've got a freedom of speech, and we'll only remove it if it violates our guidelines, if you're being basically an online bully. Well, that's the only reason we will take it down. We're a really friendly community. You won't find any group like us hardly anywhere else on the internet. Been around for a while. Got a lot of members, a lot of friendly members. Come and join us for news, videos, retrospectives. We've got a lot of members there that post everything from stuff about indie games to retro titles and more. I hope to see you there. I hope to see you again with some more of this game and many others. I've been Mike. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.